Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. James Pudding here once again for those that love sound music and stuff. It's a raw, visceral, unhinged sound music stuff today. It's featuring Oblivion by Heavyocity. It's a one-track, one library today, and I've only used Oblivion on this track. And you can hopefully hear it in the background. And just reading from the website while that noise is going on. It's ruthless, it's relentless. Dive into an arsenal of intriguing rhythmic pedals, beastly basses, scorching leads, modular ambiences, unleashing raw, unhinged power and visceral emotion that will transform your next cue into a realm where sonic intensity and larger-than-life sounds redefine aggression in modern scoring. So it's aggressive, it's loud, it's powerful, it's dark. Hopefully you can get a vague feeling of that from the track. I won't give you a deep dive into this instrument because there are already tons of videos featuring it, and especially the ones direct from Heavyocity, so do check them out. What I will do is give you some examples of what it sounds like and the little bits that I really like about it, and then I'll take you through the full track. So without further ado, one track, one library, this is Oblivion. So this is Oblivion, folks. You can have it for Contact Player. You don't need a full version. There are two NKIs. There's the designer and the menu. I've got the menu up at the minute, and this is how it sounds out of the box. That is the first sound. You can see almost metal. Ooh, that's very nice. So that is one of my favourite sounds, actually. Drop down. Again, so what I won't do is do a deep dive into this. Please do check out the Heavyocity videos. But what I will do, give you a very quick tour, if you will. So on this, it's one sound. It's mapped to keys. This is your little browser up here. And you can see drop down is there. I'll come to the browser more in a little bit, but let's go from here. So you've got your filters, your EQs. By the way, if you find a sound you like, and you want, I don't know, blown my cell across your keyboard and playing the pitches that you want, press expand source to keys, which is this button, and you could play an A minor scale with blown my cell. Yeah, all of that. Now you'll notice it's not across the entire 88 keys. It is basically from C2 to C4. Now that I assume is them giving you the optimum range of where it doesn't quite sound so silly. So I'm expecting if it went all the way up, it would probably start distorting and be really rather silly. But I like silly, so. Because I like silly, what I tend to like to do is then tune it from here. So you can get very interesting noises. That sounds like a blown fart, but anyway. Yeah. I'm being silly now. So go back to the menu. I like the drop down again, if you like that. Go down here. Now you'll notice this time it's gone all the way down here because it is optimally pitch-wise down there. And because I've only got a small keyboard, I can't play it down there unless I transpose it down here, but I'll play it on my mouse. Yeah. Now again, let's tune that down. I don't know, why not? See my point? So if you went too low, it would just start sounding silly. So, yeah, I mean, I just like being silly with it. Let's tune it up. That's cool. In fact, let's play with that. Delay that. Turn that on. Here we go. Go for it. So, again, if you want to know the nitty-gritties about the FX page, please look at things, but I'm just taking you through a very, very quick explanation. Anyway, that aside, let's turn that back off. Let's go back to return to main. So, I'm flaming a llama. Flaming a llama? Why have I gone Australian? Flaming llama! Right, stop. Okay, so the next page is your, as it were, the modulation page. So it's all mod wheel based. Yeah, you can see that. Now that's all moving in conjunction with where my fingers is. And you have envelope section, you have a tone section, which is filters and EQs, drive, saturation and distortion, motion, gates, pitches, and space, which is reverb and delay. And you have complete control over all of this, and I love it. Here we go. So let's do filter the tone. Now you'll see the little yellow circle. So if you want it across the entire spectrum, put it all the way down, and so on and so forth. So if you only want half, just raise it up like that, and there you go. So if you, and this is just for an example, if you want it to go the opposite direction, so at the minute I'm going down to up, press this all the way to the side and reverse it like this. There we go, like that. And then you have it backwards. So I'm at the top and now at the bottom. Now, because I did that with the tone, it's gone all moody. Let's turn that a bit up. You see what I mean? And you can play with it to your heart's content, and I love that. And that's only one little dial, so you can have full control over it. I absolutely love it. Let's turn the filter off. So let's go back to the flaming llama being aggressive. On here, this is your macro sequence. So you have full control at your fingertips, but if you want somebody else to do the job for you, turn this on and draw in what you like. So, so let's pick something that's a bit longer, shall we? Computational doom. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So go to the macro sequencer. Again, let's just point out the fact that you can draw in anything you want, really. And it's going to go up, down when I play. Here we go. Oh, no, I have to turn it on. Here we go. Yeah, that's the idea. And if you want it faster, turn it up. Now, it's not really controlling anything at the minute, so should we go back to the old tone and turn it on? See what I mean? How cool is that? Now, also you have a little macro LFO, which is basically doing that to your sound, even when you don't have the macro sequence off. So if I turn the macro sequence off, you'll see it still move a bit. Yeah? Pretty cool. So if I went to tone, it's still moving a tiny bit, which I love. Yeah, let's just turn the space on, shall we? Let's turn the mix on. I mean, that there's a very cool sound. So that's your macro sequencer and LFO, which is basically the nuts and bolts of how to sound design on this engine, and I love Heavyocity for that. This is your browser. So if you can notice, all these keys that I was playing, they have a name. Dirty Crystal consumes it all. Interference. Yeah, and these are all the sources, and you have an awful lot of sources for all of these little titles. Now, if you want to find the bank of the actual sources and then play through them yourself, just grab all the straight pedals, for example, and put them on. Should we go up to C3? You can control here. So I'm going to put them all on up from C3. Now you've got all 12 straight pedals from C3 to B3. Here we go. You can hear them. In fact, the filter is still on, isn't it? So let's turn that off. Here we go. And these are the sources. Acid bath. Now, if you're like me and you play around with the filters and all the sound design, and then you go and try and find another sound, if you're playing it, it's not going to give you the true sound. If you want the true sound, press this and auto, so that, and whenever you click on it, it's going to give you an example. Yeah. And these are lovely, by the way. They're absolutely lovely. Let's turn them off. And so if you go back to this page, you can see exactly what's going on, and you can change the sample start. I like that long sound, so I'm going to sample stop there. Yeah. And so on and so forth. Expand to source. Polyphony. Tune it down. Why not? Mess. Anyway, I'm just playing. So again, a little bit of control and fun that you can have there. So I love that. Obviously, you've got your FX. Now, the designer, the other NKI, is just that times 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3. And the amazing thing about this is you have independent control over every single one of them. For example, envelope. You've got 1, 2, 3. All with different settings. Tone. 1. Difference. They're different. Yeah? Different. Now, what I particularly love about this, if, for example, if I go to motion, you'll see under here, there's a filled in blue dot, not filled in red and not filled in green. This simply means that the blue, source 3, is the only one that is being affected by motion. And I love that little indicator. Again, if I go to 2 and decide to turn on the gate, the little button down here is going to fill in. Look, I love that feature. Absolutely love that. It makes my life very easy, and I can tell what's being affected and I can tell what's needs to be turned off. Down here is the other thing that's extra on the designer. It's basically an XY pad for the sounds that you have. So there's Odd World, Ageless Decay, and Say Goodbye. You can automate this, you can play it. Yeah, the mod wheel is not really affecting much on this, but if you want it to, it will. For example, if I do this and then play. Yeah, it's only going to affect the volume when it reaches it. So, and again, you can record that. You can record the motion. Here we go. Rather mad, but anyway. And you've got your random and your drift and scatter, a bit like the Ascend, those. And if you play it on top of that, it's just going to go a little bit crazy. Yeah. Let's turn it down to bar 1. And play. Now, if we add modulation to that, so number 1 is being affected. Anyway, I know it's not a very good example, but you get the idea. If you go to here, you've got, again, the macro sequence for the entire thing. So you can choose, I want a random shape. I want it to go quite quick and go. Are we ready? Fairly weird things. So let's affect the volume of that one as well. And this one. And I haven't even turned on a gate yet. I'm just doing it all by the volume and the modulation macro sequence. Let's go to the macro sequence, turn it off. Now, one thing I also really like is on this, if I go to space, for example, and I want all 3 channels affected globally, as it were. So I'm on the 3rd one at the minute. If I find a setting I really like, for example, and I want all 3 to have that same, I just press this little link down here and they are all affected. Yeah, let's turn the macro sequencer back on. That's already going crazy. So let's go to space, ramp that up, and here we go. Let's go. Kind of weird, but kind of fun at the same time. Anyway, up here you have snapshots. Factory, let's go. Rhythmic, straight, staggered. Demons approaching. I like the idea of demons approaching. Oh, that's nice. So, you'll notice that the rangefinders are here and they color your screen accordingly. So if I press that, I'm playing all 3. If I don't want one there, I'll just get rid of it down here. Likewise, there. Now it's just 3. So again, on the browser, you can literally put the sounds on each channel. So channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, drag them, crusher waves there. Let's have acid bath there. Ready? Okay, let's put the ranger here. So I've got all of them. You can solo them up here. That's another thing I really like. And also just to point out, on the waveform you have sample start here, but you also have yet another sequence here if that wasn't enough. And then finally you have the punish knob, the Heavyocity punish knob. Nightmare. And let's filter that. Oh, let's delay that. Very cool. Anyway, I think I should show you my track. So here's my track. These are all my MIDI tracks. There aren't, to be honest, too many of them. I have all these different sounds and I've color coded them accordingly to what my preferred treatment is. So basically dark reds and reds, bassy stuff, sequences in purple, for example, this sequence, a demon runner or something. Yeah, red. Dark red, depthy, things like that. Now, and on the contact, you can see all of them here. There are lots of mixtures of designers. Some of them I designed myself. A lot of them are basic presets. I wanted to do a fairly quick one. Yep. So let's just get rid of that. The main crux of the whole track, and I'll play you the full track mixed in a minute with the bounce downs, was this section. It was basically this. What was it? It was all of these angry sounds, and I just absolutely loved it. All together, it was just angry and so that I built the whole track around that, and I'll show you my bounce downs in a minute. Again, I had a sort of a different rhythm at the end. Which was on this designer here. So straight pedals, say goodbye, and more straight pedals. If I go to this, you'll see. I just wanted some more rhythm at the end. So let me just quickly play some of these sounds, which I included sort of a calm pad. I call this the end pad. And this is the pad that started it all. Yeah, pads in blue, in case you hadn't noticed. Hits in yellow. Yeah, I've played those things for you. Again, that was the sort of the thing that really started the whole thing. Transitions. Another little pad. That was the rhythm that I played you. This is a down. Nice sort of glitchy little sequencer, and then this one. Lots of fun sounds to be had. Anyway, let me show you the bounce downs. So as you can see, these are my bounce downs. I've sort of grouped them all together now to make my life a little bit easier and a little less complicated. Again, the color coding should help you. Sort of reds are deep, brahmy, bassy stuff. Sequences in purple. Pads and textures in a bluey, greeny thing. This main section, again, I called it the war bus. But we'll get to that in a minute. And then FX and stings and hits all in yellow. So if you're wondering on any mixing decisions I've decided to do in this project, the sounds are so good from Heavyocity that you really don't need to mess with them much. However, if I've got a lot of dark and bassy, powerful stuff going on at the same time, I just need to carve out the mud and carve out what I don't need. So for example, this sequence here, I didn't need so much of the bass information, but I did want some of the tickiness. I also added, again, you see I've got rid of some bass, and then I just added a load of air. So without any of those, you can hear it's quite muffly, and with lots of other bass stuff it will get in the way. I just wanted it to cut through a bit more. So generally speaking, that's how I approached this. The main middle bit here, I just wanted to go absolutely nuts through it, so I put it through one of these multi-banders. So if I, for example, if I just soloed, I'll call it the war bus. And if I take this off, it's there, but if I add this, it's going to give it a whole different punch. This linear phase multiband is old, but if I do a video on plugins I use every single mix, every single day, this is up there. So just a little bit of a nugget of information for you. And then, of course, I have my mix bus and my old faithfuls. In fact, let's go to the mix window. Up here, I have my BX Digital V3 from Plugin Alliance. I have a compressor. I then have this fabulous black box. And I do have the MS version. I've used this for so long that I haven't actually used the MS version yet. How terrible is that? I've bought it, yet I haven't used it. Anyway, and then adding a little bit of extra sauce with the Oxford inflator. In fact, I just have to play it to you, really, without the inflator. Just gives it... And then, because I always do, just to be careful, a limiter on the end, just to, if it ever goes above, I just make sure it just takes the top off. Anyway, and that's my mix button. Oh, this is interesting, I suppose. In fact, is this on this one? So this is a little texture thing I had, and again, this is a little thing that I like to do. I like to put a vitamin, or vitamin, a waves vitamin. It's basically adds harmonics on the top. Because I wanted a little bit of a little bit more air into the sound. So let me just play that section without the vitamin. It's there, but I want more air. There. Some of you might not like that, but anyway, I like that. And it just gives it a little bit more in the background. It's like a hissing kettle, which I quite liked, bizarrely. So one other little nugget of might be of interest is this middle section. This is a sort of a pan that I had going on. And I decided to send that pre-fader to a track I called pan verb, which is this thing, which is this, and you can see the automation of it below. And I put on a shimmer verb, which sort of basically is a reverb with an awful lot of high-end information. I got rid of all of below, let's say 500k, 1k, everything below, and then all of that went through a pan man thing. So this is, again, this is the raw track. That's the raw track. This is the send information. Kind of extreme, but then I fed it in. So this, the automation is really just giving a little bit more of the information coming through. Begins to come through now. Just quite liked it as an effect. Anyway, mysterious nonsense. Anyway, let's play you this entire track. So obviously it's a one-track, one library, and my inspiration for writing this track was, as usual, a picture, and this was the picture. It is a lady in night vision goggles. So what I was imagining was some very cool Tom Clancy-ish console game where this lady in question kicks some serious butt. So it's dark, it's powerful, it's sort of that's sometimes scary. But it's more importantly, it's Oblivion. Anyway, so Heavyocity, bow down to you. I absolutely adore your products, and the sound is just amazing. So this is all Oblivion. This is the lady in night vision goggles. Bit of an abrupt ending, I'm afraid, but I'll put a tail on it or something, or do a delay thing, I'm sure, before I publish. Anyway, so that is all Oblivion. I adore Heavyocity. I will always adore Heavyocity. I use them every day, and Oblivion, I think, certainly if I'm ever writing something dark, I'm going to use it. So if you like this, give it a like. Your likes are really, really appreciated. Thank you so much. If you like what I do, please subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be notified of the next nonsense that I put out. Anyway, stay well, everybody. Stay safe. See you very, very soon. Bye.